Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chumps. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Good afternoon, fellow Fox fans. How the devil are we? We're on Sky in approximately 40 minutes. And if you're watching Sky, I was watching a few minutes ago, they are already talking Liverpool-Man City. But there's a game before that, isn't there? A small matter of Wolves versus Leicester. Sky wouldn't know it. Stick with us. And this is...
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
and it's live.
That didn't quite go as smoothly as I hoped, but there we go. Stick with Leicester Till I Die TV. None of that Liverpool Man City bullshit that Sky are pushing out. We're going to say good afternoon to Mad Jason. Good afternoon. You're still mad. Don't know what's upset you. Nice for you to join us. And talking of joining us, let's bring in my pre-match chat chum, Josh, who can join us, as you can, live on Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die the group on Facebook, and at LTiD, Twitter and Periscope. And if you're in the Facebook group, in fact, I tell you what, I'll post it there. I'm going to put the link there for you to join. There's a post already in Facebook that you can click on there. It comes up on YouTube and Periscope to join us and let us know your thoughts on the team. And talking of thoughts on the team, good afternoon, Josh.
Afternoon, Chris. How are you?
Not too bad. A little bit excited, I've got to be honest with you, for this one. You've seen the team. What do you think?
Makes sense to go unchanged, and obviously Vardy's back, but I think Brendan's done the right thing and not rushed him straight in when I thought Nacho had a cracking game on Wednesday. Obviously capped off with a goal and his turn on the halfway line to have a big assist really in the second. So it made sense to go unchanged. Really, it's nice to see Chowdhury keep his place again. I thought he had a very good game against Fulham. We know Mendy's done a brilliant job for us so far. But yeah, like I say, mate, it's if you win your last game, then you're always best to go with an unchanged team.
I mean, looking at that team there, like you say, why change it if it's not broken? There was a lot of rumours. Vardy's on the bench, but indeed he hasn't even made it onto the bench at all. But obviously we've got Brighton midweek. That must be at the back of Roger's mind.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, fingers crossed he's not picked up or the injury ain't got worse over the last few days or whatever, because I know Brendan said he might not be back for the Wolves game anyway. So hopefully, yeah, it's just a bit of prolonged rest for him and he could come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, and good afternoon to Stephen, and nice for you to join us. join us, and Facebook user, stick your name at the end if you're not clicking on the link, so we can see or give you a good afternoon back. It does make sense, and Rodgers, he doesn't rush players back. We've seen that in the past, and I'm really glad for two players there, like you say, Chowdhury, who I didn't want to see go. I've got to be honest with you. Yes, he maybe would have got more game time at Newcastle that we might not give him, but then we have got 2 games a week for a while now with the FA Cup, as long as we're in that, and obviously the Europa League coming back. And like you said, Iheanacho, I mean, he did nothing wrong, did he?
No, I thought he played really well Wednesday. He really did. He looked busy. I know, like, he was playing the lone role up front, but he put himself about. I thought his work rate was really good. He closed down when he should have done. Took a bit of calculated risk on his pressing, which was good to see. And then, like I say, I thought his goal were absolutely fantastic. For the ball in from Maddison's world class. I don't care if that sort of ball's put in by Bruno Fernandes, people are raving about it for God knows how long. Cracking ball in. I thought the way he got his head to it as well, because he had to stoop just a little bit, and then the power he managed to get on it, and then, like I say, his turn to sort of set up Maddison, to set up the second goal for Justin was superb. So yeah, I'm like you said, you don't really want to be rushing Vardy back. So if Nacho can carry on the way he is, then it's come at a good time for us.
Can I just say, I hadn't noticed until recently that the cup matches the shirt.
There you go.
people think I throw this show together. It's kind of organised here. I have been very quick and I have been very vocal in my criticism of Iheanacho when he's been given the chance, but he scored more recently than Vardy has. Vardy had 5 odd games without scoring. I know it's hard to drop Vardy, but then when you're in Iheanacho, let's face it, if the guy goes and scores a hat-trick today and Vardy is fully fit, you know Vardy's going to start. And what that must do to a player's confidence, I mean, he starts, and we'll come on to Perez in a second, but he starts with Perez week in, week out. And, in Iheanacho, I'm starting to actually feel sorry for the guy, because I say no matter what he does, once Vardy is fit, he's going to, he is going to, and I'm not saying he's going out and going, I can't be bothered because I know he'll be back, but it's got to sort of hurt for the confidence, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think like a lot of, I think in a way, I know like everybody knocks Nacho, and I'm one of them that will, if he's had a bad game, then I'll say it really. But as a backup striker, I actually think we're quite lucky with him. I don't think there's many other teams out there that have really got a backup striker who they can rely on. I think with good thing is about with Iheanacho, if he scores one, he sort of 9 times out of 10 he usually goes on like a little purple patch where he'll get a few goals here and there. So hopefully that's the case today, mate. I think it's a game which will suit him today, because I expect Wolves to give us plenty of the ball. So hopefully he can find them positions in the penalty area like he did on Wednesday, and like you said, when he played for Man City, he was a sort of penalty box striker. He's nothing like Vardy, so to compare the two is really unfair.
Yeah.
Mate. Hopefully, he manages to hit a bit of form for us and manages to get another goal or so today.
As much as I've changed my view on Iheanacho, and now I'm trying to get behind him. Perez, I've also changed my view on, because I was always sort of, let's give him a chance. He gives us something, play him in his right position. He's not a striker. He has proved that, really. Although having said that, he only went a few games in that role without scoring. We've got to remember Vardy did go 4 or 5 without scoring. But he's not been playing well. Obviously, Rodgers sees something in him that the rest of us don't, because I'm not saying he's suddenly crap, but he does offer us something. But I just feel Under offers us more at the moment than Perez, and Under's bench. Am I being unfair to Perez?
I don't think you are, mate. I think performance-wise, again against Fulham, he weren't bad, but he didn't really stand out. I don't really feel like he did anything that made you, if you were giving him a match rating, give him anything above a 5 or a 6. Really, he wasn't poor, but he weren't great. Whether Brendan's happy with him just to be consistently, just performing at that sort of level for us and not underperforming, then fair enough. But it's either that or he must be a really good performer in training. I don't really know, to be honest with you. But as you know, mate, I like Perez, but I think it's coming towards the sort of time where if he doesn't pull something out in the next couple of games, then I think obviously you got really start asking questions as to why Under isn't starting for us. Definitely.
I mean, do you think? I mean, you know, I'm a brilliant conspiracy theorist. I love all the conspiracy theories. I don't think it's one of these where if he plays or starts so many games, we have to sign him. I don't think there is that. I mean, has he done enough to be signed? Depends on the deal, to be honest with you. But he does offer something when he comes on. And certainly, okay, maybe he's more suited to the European game. But start him, and it does give Perez that kick up the arse.
Yeah, exactly. And it might, like you say, it might sort of make him realise how he is under pressure to keep his place. I think with Under, from like I've said to you before, mate, from what I can see, I think so far he's not been outstanding, but he's done enough for me to definitely warrant a start. I know obviously Brendan sort of prefers to play him in the Europa League games, so hopefully we'll see more of him coming up in the next round. I'd like to see him come on today. Definitely, I think the substitutions that were made on Wednesday, I was expecting him to be one of them, and obviously he wasn't. But yeah, I'd like to see him at some point today. Definitely.
Form going into this game, ours isn't that bad at all. We had the loss to Leeds. We've come back well against Fulham, another potential banana skin that we had earlier in the season that we managed to avoid. Apart from the Arsenal win, let's be honest with you, you know, total disrespect to Arsenal. It's not hard to beat them this season. Looking at that, we are going in with the better form. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we shouldn't worry, should we?
It's Wolves, mate. I think Wolves still they've still got a very good team. They are underperforming this season, I think, because obviously the last couple of seasons they've done really well. They've still got players that can turn it on against us. I know, like with Traore, I think Justin's going to have his hands full at the back today. Then a player called Neto plays the left wing for them as well. He's going to give us an hard time. And the midfield as well, I think Chowdhury and Tielemans more so than Maddison, because obviously Maddison attacks more. I think Tielemans and Chowdhury are going to have their hands full with Moutinho and Neves as well, because you put them in any other team and they're going to walk. They'd walk into most teams in the Premier League anyway. Then I know Moutinho's getting on a bit, but it's a tricky one today. Form wise, I like to look at form. It's nice to see a load of W's in your column, but as many teams this season have proved in the Premier League, mate, anything can happen. Form don't really count for anything, unfortunately.
It is one of those seasons, but. Talking of one of those seasons, and we had Ed on from Wolves Vavel on the opposition show on Friday, and he was saying they were expecting not to do well this season, which was a bit of a strange comment, because it's usually if you either come up and do really, really well. I mean, I remember Blackpool doing that at one point. They were top of the Premier League. Or you come up a la Norwich and you really struggle from the get-go. But Wolves have had two decent seasons. You know, this is the third season. They even went through the Europa League curse of having a bad season at the same time as being in the Europa League. Where they are in the table at the moment, personally, for me, surprises me. You know, they're down there in 14th place. This was before yesterday's game, in fairness, but I haven't updated it yet. But, you know, they could get drawn in.
They could do. For me, personally, I think the relegation places are what they are at the minute. If there's one team that I'd like to see escape, I'd like to see Sheffield United pull out of it. I know I suppose it's sort of put a dampen on our great escape season as such. Yeah, because I think Sheffield United would be a lot more miraculous, but I'd like to see them pull clear. Yeah, Wolves. I expected them to. I thought they'd be up there with us, to be honest, challenging for top 7, 8, something like that. I fully expected them with the players that they've got and that they've brought in. I thought they'd be right up there. Yeah, so I'm surprised they are where they are. I think Jota's a big miss for them, but like I say, Neto sort of come in to replace him. He's absolutely, for me, he's world class. So Wolves will be all right. I can still see them finishing top half quite easily.
I don't think they will get drawn in, to be honest with you, unless they go on a really, really bad win. If I don't give her a shout out, she doesn't talk to me for a week. So I've got to say hello to daughter number. She says daughter number 1 or 2, whichever way you want to look about it. They are twins. So good afternoon, Heather. Thanks for joining. It is we know it's sort of the season from hell this year, but we've got a tough couple of weeks coming up. You know, we've got Brighton midweek in the FA Cup. This time next week or Sunday next weekend, we've got Liverpool visiting us, and we know, however well we're doing and however bad Liverpool are doing, they are our bogey team at the moment. We can't seem to get anything less than a sort of a 3-4-0 hiding. And obviously after that, again midweek, Slavia Prague, when of course you will be joining us now, Josh, as our new European correspondent. So hopefully you got your homework ready for Slavia Prague. But it is a couple of tough weeks coming up.
It is, and I look back on these set of fixtures a few weeks back now. I think it was and it was after the Leeds game on Sunday, and I thought, bloody hell, especially away to Fulham, we could do with picking up points there, because it's going to be tricky. I know we've got Arsenal coming up again soon as well, I think, and they've shown they can hit a good run of form. So I know, like you say, it's not hard to beat Arsenal, but when they turn up, when they turn up, they can batter anybody. So I think it's a case of now. I know it sounds really cliche, and you hear the players say it a lot, but it is literally a case of taking it one game at a time. Yeah. As a fan, I don't think too far into the future. If we're still the same position come March, start of April, then I think you can sort of start thinking, it's the top 4, it's going to be on here. We were shooing for it, but there's still plenty of time, mate. So it's, like you say, tricky games coming up. The Brighton FA Cup game, it's a strange one, really, because if you get past this round, then you're obviously in the quarters. Yeah. And then if you're to lose in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, and obviously the final, it means something. Do you know what I mean? So it's the Brighton games. I'd like to win. I always want us to win, but if we lose, we lose. And like you say, Liverpool and Slavia Prague afterwards, they're massive for us. So it's going to be tough.
It is. I mean, looking again, I'm just going to bring this back up, because the squad we've got at the moment has got to give us hope and positivity. I mean, you look at that bench. Ward, great. He's a great standing. Amarty's just replaced Morgan in the European squad. Daly Campbell, another youngster coming through. Don't really know too much. Fuchs, Thomas, Mendy, Albrighton, Under, and of course Vardy, and indeed he would be in there if he was fit. And there's a couple of others as well, obviously, that we're missing. But it is a strong all-round squad. Maybe not the biggest in the Premier League, but it is one of the strongest, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we're quite lucky. If you take injuries aside, it sounds strange to say, but we have had quite a settled starting 11 when we've had the choice to put it that way. Obviously, I know, like I say, injuries have really at times decimated us. But for me, I got asked the question the other day, if you looked at your starting 11 now from the one when you won the Premier League, which is the strongest? And straight away I said, well, you got to look at it, this season is the strongest. I know to a lot of people that might sound crazy, but obviously times changed, the style of football's changed. I know it's only been 4 or 5 years now. Yeah. But I'd definitely say overall, and for how well balanced the team is, the squad we've got now, it's definitely the best I've seen in my lifetime being a Leicester supporter, and we're extremely lucky to be able to watch it every week.
Yeah. Couple of mentions here. LCFC Kieran, sub to Lee Chappie, another Leicester YouTube. Lee Chappie, of course, the Vardy lookalike. Great channel on YouTube. Give him a sub, give him a follow. It is a fantastic channel. And I love the fact that he wears his heart on the sleeve. He doesn't mind if we score. He virtually goes off camera because he jumps up. Great lad, Lee. Give him a follow and give him a like. Shout out to here from Facebook user to Mark Maguire. Where are you now? You could say that in fairness to Martin O'Neill. I mean, they're all getting on a little bit now, but I must admit, and the Wolves fan I was talking to was too young to remember Mark McGee, but it's always funny. He walked out on Reading to join us, and as a Leicester fan, that's fine. But the fact that he walked out on us to join Wolverhampton Wanderers is my hatred. That's what created my hatred for Wolves. But I think the thing was that he said he was leaving to join a bigger club, and I think that's the thing that hurt. Brian Little going to Villa, I understood it was his club, and Mark McGee, it's a job, and he thought, but it was the way he said it. But a good afternoon to your mate here, Lee Lockwood. Hello,
mate.
Do you think it's about time we chose a new permanent captain? Good question for you there, Josh. I mean, Casper is all right. I'm not going to get involved because everybody knows my views. Love Casper, very vocal. Not for me, a captain. You don't have. For me, I don't like goalkeepers as captain. Go on, Josh. Your thoughts.
I agree, mate. I think Casper makes a cracking vice captain as a player to have a sort of that second voice in the changing room, and as you can hear, obviously without the crowd, he's very vocal. You can hear him nearly every single game berating referees and getting in at the players. But not for me, mate. I'd say if we are to go for another captain, I think it's got to be Johnny Evans. I think it's better to have a captain actually on the pitch that's covering more or less the whole of the picture. They can communicate with the players better. I think obviously the experience is vital. He's won Champions League with Man United. He's won Premier Leagues, FA Cups, and all sorts. So I think he's for me, obviously with Morgan, he looks like he's retiring at the end of the season. I think Johnny Evans is a perfect replacement for me because obviously the younger lads can learn from him as well. So for me, I'd go for Johnny Evans.
I've got to be honest with you. Yes, purely because the experience. And I remember in that Southampton game at 8-0, he was the one that was saying, come on, there's a record on here. No, he was Man United, so he was there when they got the original 9. But so yes, for me, it's got to be Johnny Evans as well. Although, of course, the other day, Brendan went for Tielemans, which for me was a bit like the David Beckham captain, not a vocal one, but leads by example.
You know what? I was pleased with that as well because I think the thing is with Yuri Tielemans, I think, and like Luke's just said there, I think Tielemans is a good candidate. I still think he's a bit too young for it, but having said that, I think this season I've really noticed there's a massive change in his play. He's doing the dirty work a lot more, and he's flying into challenges. He seems to be challenging for a lot more headers. He's a lot more vocal on the pitch as well. I think if we're lucky to have him round for the next few years, and obviously, like I say, if Johnny Evans gets captaincy and then Evans retires or he leaves, I agree. I think going forward, Yuri's a cracking shout to be captain. I think he's definitely got it in him.
Apparently, yeah. Thanks for letting us know, Brad. Mark McGee is now assistant manager at Stockport County.
Mm.
Was he Scotland manager at one point?
Mark McGee.
Yeah,
I know he managed Brighton and that as well, didn't he? At one point,
he is Scottish. I have a feeling he did have something to do with the Scottish national squad. So obviously, assistant manager at Stockport is a step up for him.
Don't say that around this house, mate. You can't be heard saying that around here with my in-laws.
Oh, they are kilt wearing north of the borderlands, are they?
yeah, mate. All from Edinburgh, so it's they're very patriotic.
I always say rebuild Hadrian's Wall. That's what I say. Right. Quickly moving on. Hopefully they're not there today. Score predictions. Let us know, guys, if you're watching still, what you think the score prediction is going to be. Just showing you here what everybody's gone for. Steve Walsh Ian Marshall and myself all totally in agreement with a 2-1 Leicester win. We think it's going to be tight, but we think we're going to do it. Steve Lynix thinks it's going to be tougher than that because he's going for a 2-1 to Wolves. But then, Steve, you went 2-1 for Wolves, so 2-1 for Fulham and got it wrong. So let's hope in that way your luck carries on and you get it totally wrong as well. What are you going to go for, Josh?
I was going to say 2-1 to us, but for the benefit of change, I'll say 3-1 to us.
3-1. I hope
just
it will
to be different.
It's going to be an easier match, but 3-1. Inacho to get a couple.
It'd be nice. You know what? It'd be nice for Nacho to get a couple. Maybe Perez chip in with one. But even if it comes off Kagler Sunchu's arse in the 93rd minute and it gives us a 1-0, you take it, don't you?
You do. We do. And is it? I mean, I am going to say it. I'm going to say that dreaded word, scoring from a corner. I know Sky actually put it up the other day that we'd now got 2 goals from corners. Now, I didn't think we had. Now, whether they were short corners, I don't know. I still think we haven't done it properly to what I call a score. I mean, I was desperate to do that. I said, we got one from a short corner. But to me, it's got to be from the corner kick into the box and in. I'm going to ask you, and I know you stopped saying it because we never did it. Is it going to be today when we do it?
Yes. In hope. That's more hope than expectation. To be honest with you, it's it'd be nice. It'd be nice if it happened today, though. We could finally put that one to bed. Yeah.
Are we? Corners, set plays, we stand the bottom of the stats. We do indeed. Whether it's 0 or 2, I still think we are bottom. Need to take Maddison off free kicks and corners, do you think? Give him a break?
Yeah, I think so. Or just give him the odd one here or there. I think Tielemans got a good delivery on him. I think even someone, like James Justin, even getting him a go, I think he's got a good delivery on him as well. I think even if it's just for a game, just give Maddison a bit of a break from it. Let him concentrate on other areas of his game, because I'm sure it's, he must hear comments and all sorts and read things about, why his set piece deliveries ain't exactly working. So it gives him a bit of a rest from it as well. So it'd be nice, but I can't see it happening.
I would have said, and I know he's not in the starting lineup, but when he's on the pitch, Albrighton is for me the natural corner taker. He's so. He's got that pass on him. He's got that dead ball situation. But obviously, like I say, Rodgers obviously sees something that you and me don't. And maybe in practice he gets everyone on the button. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. Hopefully, it proves us wrong today.
Yeah, Stephen says Soyuncu from a corner. That would be nice. Josh, enjoy the game. Thanks so much. We'll see you back for the Brighton and Liverpool game. And then, obviously, you do take over the European show with us, which is back possibly every Tuesday before we play a European game. So get those pronunciations practiced of all this.
I'll try.
That's why I don't do it, because I can never. I have trouble with English.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Cheers, bud. All the best. Hope your family stays safe, even the Scots.
And you, pal. Cheers for having me, Chris, mate.
Cheers a lot. And there we go. Thanks, guys. A great show again, Facebook user. Thanks very much. Don't know who you are, but thank you anyway. Josh, enjoy the game, mate. Let's hope we get the predictions right.
And you, it's 3 points, mate. Look after yourself.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Cheers, Chris. Ta-ra, buddy.
Right. Thanks a lot to Josh there for joining us. We are now about 13 minutes from kickoff. Let's go off and watch Sky. Let's see, 13 minutes before kickoff, have they started watching? Have they started mentioning the Wolves-Leicester game yet? Well, knowing Sky, probably not. Don't forget that if you are wanting to catch up on this, you can do on Leicester Till I Die TV. Please do this for us.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Please subscribe now on YouTube.
Indeed. Guys, we'll see you post-match about 4:45. Gives us a chance to catch up on all the facts and figures and calm down if we've lost, celebrate and get drunk if we've won, and then come on here and probably talk a load of rubbish as we usually do. Stay safe, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for joining in. Here's to a Leicester win and 3 points. See you after the match.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.